nobody picks Stu?
He's too short.
He's too short.
Too short.
I have become deeply obsessed with who is going to be the UFC's first ever triple champion. And I'm looking at the double champs that we have now. We have Pereira, we have Islam Makhachev, and we have Ilia Topuria. Obviously, Pereira has the biggest shot because the power scales differently at the higher weight divisions. You have a much easier shot at getting a puncher's chance, and Pereira definitely has a big puncher's chance of knocking out whoever is the heavyweight champion, whether it's Aspinall, whether it's Gane. We can see that Aspinall is a human. He's not flawless. He was getting picked apart by that jab. His nose was bloodied. Okay, I can acknowledge that now. Islam at 185, I've said this before, he can't beat Khamzat Chimaev. He has to wait for Khamzat to move up himself, or if he loses, but I don't see Khamzat losing to anybody at 185 anytime soon, unless Anthony Hernandez is really that fucking good. But I don't think he's good enough to beat Khamzat. But 185 Islam is doable. He's got the frame for it. He's 5'11". He's not 5'10". He's 5'11". He's got the muscle mass. He's already fighting at 195 on fight night. He can just put in like an extra 10 pounds and he'll be good. Plus, we've got guys that are shorter and smaller than Islam that fight at middleweight. We've seen that before. So it's doable for Islam, but he would just have to wait until somebody else becomes champion. He'd have to wait until like Strickland becomes champion or just somebody like that, you know. But Ilia, I'm here to tell you right now, stands no chance. He stands no chance of becoming champion. Off the bat, Ilia Topuria loses to Islam Makhachev at 170. That's not a debate. That's just a fact. He gets smudged. He gets held down. He doesn't have the strength. You're fighting guys that are at 195, 200 pounds on fight night. Your little 5'7" skeletal frame can't hold that much of mass on it. And if you try, you're going to be so sluggish. Your punches aren't going to be as fast. 155 is the perfect weight division for Ilia. But if he moves up, he's going to lose to a lot of guys. There's only like a handful of guys that he can beat, and I'd have to scroll down. Okay? Just looking at the heights. 5'7". Ilia Topuria is right in the middle. 5'10", that's like somebody like Bilal. 5'11" is Islam Makhachev. 6'3", we have a lot of 6'3" welterweights. Shavkat Rakhmonov, Ian Gary, Carlos Prates. Prates is listed as 6'1", he's not 6'1", he's like 6'2 and a half, 6'3". Very long. Can you imagine that? Can you honestly imagine Ilia at 170 trying to land shots against Shavkat Rakhmonov's chin or Ian Gary's chin? He'll never land on Ian Gary. Ian Gary's always going to be retreating, pushing back. He'll just pick him apart with the leg kicks. The body kicks, the teeps, flying knees are going to be brutal. He'll just knee him to death, and there's nothing that Ilia would be able to do. Okay, but what about guys that are a little smaller? You know, he could beat a Joaquin Buckley, right? Maybe. Buckley is really small and short. When I mean small, I mean short. He's not small in terms of his actual build, his physique. He's very thick and juicy. Pause. I didn't mean juicy in that way, but you know what I mean. Like, he's got big biceps, traps, muscles all over himself. I can see a mediocre guy like Buckley destroying Ilia Topuria. I could. What about Sean Brady? Sean Brady's short as well. Apparently, correct me if I'm wrong, but apparently Sean Brady fights at 200 pounds on fight night. Good luck with that. Nah. I could see Ilia beating up like a washed up Gilbert Burns. That I could see. Like some washed up unks. Neil Magny, mediocre gatekeeper at 170, but still 6'3". I see Neil Magny beating Ilia. Who else? D-Rod, washed up old 39-year-old man, but he's on a win streak. I see him beating Ilia. Kevin Holland beats Ilia. Way too tall. Mike Malott, Mike Malott's big. You can't really tell because he's pale, and pale guys, they don't look as big because there's not shadows that, cover their muscles the way that darker skinned guys have. But you look at his physique, the guy's big. But no, Ilia does not ever become a triple champion. I'm sorry. He's not Matt Serra. Matt Serra, he gets a fluke KO against GSP, and that's it. That's the only reason why people know who Matt Serra is. I don't think Ilia's going to get a fluke KO against Islam Makhachev or Shavkat or Ian Gary. JDM? Probably not even JDM. Don't see it happening. This is Jai Herbert, by the way, just to put things in perspective. Because people like to say that height doesn't matter, weight matters. Yes, weight matters more than height. But when you get to like ridiculous lengths like this, height also matters too. And this is Jai Herbert, who got brutally knocked out by Ilia, but Jai Herbert's only 6'1". Ian Gary is 2 inches taller. Shavkat's 2 inches taller. He would make Ilia look even shorter in a weight division that he's going to be slower than these guys because he's putting on more mass. Nah, dude. You can't convince me. It's just not there. This guy, this Brazilian guy whose name I forgot, was listed as 5'6". So, similar size to Ilia. And look at this fucking nomadic Giga Chad just looking down on him. That's what would happen to Ilia. Ilia should just stay at 155. It's the perfect weight division for him. Doesn't have to weight cut as much as he did in featherweight. Just stay at 155 forever. You don't need to move up. Because you will lose. Who does he lose to? Pretty much everybody. I mean, we can go down the list. Who can he beat? Who can Ilia beat? At 170. Not Islam, not Jack, not Shavkat, not Ian, not Bilal. Like, I'm not going to disrespect Bilal like that. Not CP. Definitely not Morales. Way too big and thick. Not Brady. Not even Leon Edwards. I know we like to shit on Leon, but that would be his biggest and tallest opponent that Ilia would ever face. I just don't see him catching him on the chin. Right? I mean, we're thinking about like 5'7" versus 6'2". How much is that? A 7-8 inch height difference? That's ridiculous, man. And people like to point out, well, we've seen really short guys knock out big guys, tall guys. Like Stefan Struve was 6'11", 7 foot, and he got knocked out all the time. That's heavyweight. Stefan Struve got knocked out by a 5'10" Mark Hunt. That's heavyweight. The power translates differently. Obviously, Ilia's fists can reach the chin. I was being sarcastic in the beginning of the video. Obviously, somebody who's 5 foot can reach somebody who's 6 foot. Okay? It's just the power difference is the main thing. There's not as much power at welterweight compared to heavyweight. So, Usman beats him. Even a washed-up 39-year-old Usman with bad knees beats him. Buckley, I know Buckley's short. I still think because of the size, the muscle mass, he could beat up a washed-up Gilbert Burns, maybe, perhaps, but even then. Bonfim's looking good. No, he can't beat Bonfim. Colby Covington doesn't really fight. Like, he could probably beat Colby. Just because Colby's not a super big weight bully himself. Like, if Colby wanted to fight at lightweight, he easily could. So maybe. Not Fakhretdinov. Maybe an old man, Wonderboy Thompson at this point in his career, perhaps. Sure. I think he could beat Wonderboy. Maybe not Neil Magny. Maybe Jeff Neal. And then we're just like going down. Not D-Rod. Not Mike. Nah, dude. There's nobody. There's only like a handful of people. I just thought I'd make this quick video because I was thinking about the Triple Champ today. There's a lot of talk right now with Pereira on Reddit. You don't know what's true on Reddit. People are saying that The UFC want to do Rico Verhoeven versus Pereira at heavyweight in the UFC. Other people are saying that they might do Cyril Gane versus Pereira for like an interim thing. I'm not buying this shit until something's concrete, but all of these thoughts are racing in my head, and I'm getting excited, My penis is tingling thinking about the first ever triple champ in the UFC. But it's not going to be Ilia, that's for sure. UFC 323 is tomorrow. I can't wait. They also just announced UFC 326. We kind of figured it was going to be Oliveira versus Holloway for the BMF belt, but it's nice to see it confirmed in March. And they had like a roadmap of all the other fight nights. There's only going to be like 2 Apex cards in like the first quarter of 2026, so that's good. Hopefully it's not a main event women's fight, but yeah, we watch all the cards regardless. That's what we do on this channel. Peace out. Tune in for the stream tomorrow, you motherfuckers. I'll catch you then, and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye.